Okay, so far we have learned what are forces, like it's a push and a pull, and all the different types of possible forces. We learned how to tabulate all the forces in a given situation using a free body diagram, and we learned how to add the forces into the net force of a given situation, right? So there are inside the lots of types of forces that we have thrown at you and showed some examples of. There are a couple of forces that are worth especially looking at. They're special forces, no pun intended. Yeah, a lot of times they are ones that we have a specific formula for, right? So there's none. So let's look more in depth and detail with these forces, and there's none so much as important as the force of gravity, and we have a special name for that force, just like we have a special name for any force, any pulling force from a string, we call it a tension. A force from a gravity, it's called weight. Okay, so we throw around this word a lot in our daily lives, but there's a specific meaning, and we'll learn about that. Essentially, it's the force of gravity, and I'll be a little bit more specific. What's the difference between weight and gravitational force in its moment? Another one that we have a specific formula for, we will get to, is friction. And in fact, we have two types of frictions. There is static friction and dynamic friction. Okay, and we'll look at them. Both of them have a formula. And there is another one, is this spring, I should say, the spring restoring force, or just restoring force for short, or spring force if you like. And this one, we'll see if we get time to cover it. If not, this is one of the major topics in 3C. If we get time, we'll also sort of prepare you a little bit for it. So you just get a glimpse of it. It's very important and historically one of the first forces to analyze, to have a formula as well. Okay, so these ones are the ones we'll look at, specifically the first two, definitely. And also the other one is the normal force, or the reaction force. So the normal, let me call it the normal reaction force, right? Or just normal force or reaction force for short. Normal, again, once again, refers to the fact that it's perpendicular, or normal. Normal means perpendicular to the contact surface, right? It doesn't have a specific formula, but it's worth analyzing because it has an interesting property, okay? All right, so let's jump into it. We'll start with looking at weight, okay? Okay, so special force number one is weight, and this is probably one of the most important forces there is to analyze in at least this basic physics course, right? So we throw around this word a lot. Let's learn about rigorously or formally what does it mean when we say weight. Okay, so the first thing, let's give the definition. It's basically, I'll say it first, it's the gravitational force on an object by the planet. And usually that planet is Earth, okay? But of course, we can talk about the weight on Mars. In that case, that planet will be Mars, okay? So it's the gravitational force on an object due to a planet. Okay, now, so if anyone asks you to define what is weight, this is the definition. So now that we'll talk about the difference, because sometimes we use the word weight and mass very interchangeably in our daily life, but in physics, they are different concepts, although you will see a connection in a second. Okay, but first of all, I want to point out that so if you ask the definition, this is what you'll write, but you'll see that it's nothing more than just the generic format of forces. Forces is always on something and due to something or by something, right? And in our case, most of the time, we'll be living on Earth, okay? All right, so the first thing let's talk about it is the unit. And the unit, because it's a force, no surprise to anyone, it's measured by newtons, right? And now we should talk about the difference between masses versus weight, okay? So weight is a force. It's a special type of force, okay? And mass is an intrinsic property of an object. Notice the difference. Mass is what an object has, and weight is what is being applied on that object. Okay. Now, remember how was mass defined? Mass was actually defined as the proportionality constant between, should start with F. If you apply a total amount of force on something, it will accelerate, right? And from Newton's second law, we talked about that the more force, the more net force you apply on something, the faster it will accelerate. All right, that makes intuitive sense. But whenever we have a proportionality, we can make a constant, and that is mass. So in some sense, mass is how much does an object react or accelerate in response to some force applied on it. And this is an intrinsic property of the object. Weight is not. Weight is the gravity, it's how much influence the planet Earth has on that object. Okay, so here's a question. If you take a jump on a rocket, go to outer space, now you're far away from the Earth, let's say very, very far away from the Earth into outer space. Do you still have mass and do you still have weight? Okay, so if you're away from the gravitational influence of anything, and I think you have got it correctly in your head, you will no longer have weight because you will no longer, if you're very, very far, then you will either experience very little or let's assume there's nothing around you, then you will experience no gravitational force at all. However, you still have mass. It is useful to somehow think of mass as measuring almost the accumulation of how all the atoms and all the molecules of that object. It's how much stuff there is. So let's say the layman definition or the layman understanding, a layman way of saying, a less formal way of saying, of understanding what mass is how much stuff there is in that object. All right, so you and I have a mass, but the formal way to define it is actually, okay, it's the proportionality constants between the force applied, the total force or the net force applied on an object and its acceleration. Okay, how does that tie together? It makes sense because the more stuff there is, right, the layman understanding, the more stuff there is with the same amount of force, think about it this way, right? Let me make sure I don't destroy the room. If I apply the same amount of force on something, if I have more stuff, right, it will be harder to accelerate it. It will be the acceleration that results from me applying that force. Let me kick the object with the same amount of force. The object with more mass will have less acceleration, right? So it's a measurement of, so you can use how much it accelerates to measure in a way to understand how much mass it is. Notice that has nothing to do with gravity. That is me kicking an object and then seeing how much it accelerates, right? It's essentially a measurement of inertia. A measure, so again, this is a semi qualitative way of thinking. It's a measure of the concept of inertia. If you're familiar with this word, great. Then you have a good sense of what mass is now. If you're not familiar with inertia, it's basically how much resistance you have to force, to motion. Okay, so you can imagine the heavier something is, you need more force to push it with the same amount of acceleration. That's another way to think about it. Okay, so what is the units of mass? The units of mass is kilograms, right? The standard units is kilograms. You can use by standard, I mean international standard, the SI units, SI, not IS, because invented by the French, standard international or something like that. Yeah, so but you can measure it with other non-scientific standard units like pounds or stones if you're British, things like that, right? But yeah, so these are measured in kilograms, but weight is measured in newtons. Okay, so let me emphasize that one more time. If you're away from a planet, you you will have no weight, but you'll still have mass because it's the amount of stuff there is. In other words, is a more formal way of saying it is if you're even if you're in outer space, if something is very massive, that means it has a lot of stuff in it. It will resist motion. If I apply the same amount of force, the thing that has less mass will accelerate faster. Okay, all right, good. And now I want to, having said that, right, so I have posted a question on Piazza, and you have some time to think about it, hopefully. If you haven't seen it, I'll post it here again, and let's address that. Now imagine if I have a heavy object, a very massive object. Notice we'll try not to use the word heavy. Heavy is ambiguous. It's not a scientific word. Most of the time when someone say heavy, they refer to weight, but again, it's not very clear. Do you mean weight or mass? Do you mean, are you talking about how many kilograms or how many newtons of force that Earth is exerting on that object, right? So let's try to avoid the word heavy, and I'll use the word massive, right? So let's say I have a bowling ball, or even something that's very heavy. Let's make it even heavier, right? 100 kilograms and a very tiny object, 0.1 kilograms, like this, right? So maybe like a bowling ball and a marble, like this. And I release them at the same height, right? So they'll fall onto the ground. And the question is, which one comes first? Which one arrives to the ground first, right? This is question number one. Question number two is, what if I replace these two things? Let's replace this with a feather, or maybe a piece of paper. Yeah, let's do that, right? One piece of paper and 500 pieces of paper, so a huge textbook, right? So if I release that, question number two, which one will reach the ground first, right? Think about this. And question number three is, what if I have a slope like this, right? An inclined plane, and let's have them rollable, right? The massive ball and the less massive one roll down the slope and release them at the same time. Assume there's no friction, right? Assume there's no friction, no very, very negligible air resistance. It's not going to play a big role in this over here. Which one will reach the floor first? Okay, so that's question number three. All right, so let's answer that in the next video.